Hi, I'm Martha from Quilting by Martha. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to quilt the bird block. This is the quilt called Whisper by Poppie Cotton. This bird here, you can see I went around with it with the echoing to echo the bird. So that's what I'm going to be demonstrating. Now, Handy Quilter has the echo feet, so that would be the 3/8 inch foot that you would use to go around it. They're now clear colored. They don't have the colors. So you go around the bird. If you do not have the computer, this is an easy way to do echo quilting around the bird. But if you have the computer, I'm going to show you how we're going to use the computer to use the echo quilting. But the first thing I did is I took my in the ditch ruler and I went around the bird. So I have my ruler base on, my Surefoot on, and then I went around the bird just to stabilize the bird. I like to do in the ditch around any applique, or if I'm trying to make that pop, I do in the ditch. So I went all the way around within the ditch. I have my lights turned off and my laser light turned off just for the filming. Then inside the bird, I have this feather. So how I did that is over here, I drew out how I wanted the feather to be. And because I'm using my computer and I want them to be the same in each one, I'm not free motioning it. I created my own design. This is called Quilter's Preview paper, and it's got dry erase marker on it. I put painter's tape on the end so that I don't get any markings on my quilt. And by creating my own design, I came up here to Pro Stitcher. I go Pro Stitcher. First thing I did is I turned my gears off so that I'm in free motion. And then I went to record, and right down here is the record. And it has a star, which also my programmable handlebar has a star. So I can use the star on the handlebar. So what I did is I hit the star and I record. So I am just going around the design, and I am recording a free motion design. And when I'm finished with the free motion design, I hit my star again. I hit my house refresh button, and there is my feather. Now it's not very good, so it took me several times of practicing to make sure I get the way I like it. So in this case, I wouldn't like that straight line, so I would hit clear and keep doing it over and over. And it should clear. There we go. Now I'm going to turn my gears back on, and I have already saved it. At least I thought I saved it. And let's see, where would I have saved it to? Because this was yesterday, and I saved it here under my folder, under my name, and then freehand. I bring it back up, and there is my freehand that I did. I'm going to clear that area so that my bird is off of there. And there is my wings after a lot of practicing, trying to get it where I needed it. So now that I have it, then I can recreate a new area. So I go to row number 1 area, and then I do multi-point. And I create an area. When you create an area with multi-point, it's always a closed shape. So I need my wings into that area. So I go to Modify, Align, and line it to the center. And then I quilted out the wing. Now, I could take this into Pro Stitcher Designer and play around with that and make it a little bit better. But for this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put this wing in each one of my birds throughout the quilt. Okay? Once I quilt that out, I can clear that out, File, Clear All. All right, now I am going to show you how I did the echo quilting using Pro Stitcher Designer, Pro Stitcher Studios, Pro Stitcher software, and it's a separate program. It's a digitizing program, but when you buy the Amaras on up with Pro Stitcher, it comes with Pro Stitcher. It's a designing software that you can create your own designs. So the first thing I have to do is I have to create an area around this bird. So I go to row number 1, area, and then I'm going to do the multi-point. So I can use my handlebar here with the diamond, and I'm going to create an area around my bird. I've already done in the stitching. If it doesn't ding, then it didn't register. If it doesn't ding, you might have your volume turned down. I can hit my house refresh button, and there's my bird. So I've created my area of my bird, and then I am going to save it. File, save. I'm going to save the workspace. And then I have a D drive, so I have a USB in there, so it's on my D drive. So I go to there and I save. I have to give it a new name, clear it, and I'm going to say bird area because that's the area. So I hit save. And now it's on my USB, so then I'm going to take my USB out of my computer here, or at my Longarm here. I'm going to remove it, and then I'm going to bring it over here to my laptop where I will bring it in, and there is my bird. I'm going to select it, and then I'm under Tools, and then I'm going over here to Echo Quilting. I'm going to increase this to 0.24. You'll have to play around with this and see which one works best for you, but this one I did 0.24. And then I'm going to add about 20 or so to go around. And then here where it joins, I went down to miter. Again, you have to play with these to see which one you like the best. I hit preview. And that's what it's going to look like with all my echoes around it. And then I would say okay. And then I would hit, let's see, I would say okay. And then you have to apply the stitches to it. So you would go to preview. Once it's selected, hit the stitches. It will apply the stitches to it. And then you're going to save it in the C2S. And then you're also going to save it with the drop down with HQV. It takes between, 7 to 10 minutes for it to save and to apply the stitches. So we're not going to wait on that. But you notice I just got echoes around the bird. Then I would save it as an HQV. I would eject my USB. Then I'm going to bring the USB back over here to my computer. And then I already have it saved over here. I saved it under my file. Here it is, bird with echo. I bring that in. You see that all the echo, but you notice that it's not facing the same way as my bird. So I can go to modify, rotate, and mirror image it. And now the echoes are facing the same as my bird. Then I'm going to go to modify, align, and line it in the center. Didn't quite line it in the center, so now I have to reposition it. And I will reposition it till it becomes center with my bird that I created with the multi-point area. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. So then I will center it. And notice because I gave it the command not to join it. You can give it the command to join it and these would not be jump stitches. But I did not. I left it as jump so it looks like I did it with my echo feet. But I'm actually using my computer. So once I like the way it is, it looks like it's centered very nicely in there. Then I can hit baseline, and then I'm going to create my area of the block on my quilt. So I go to row number 1 area, and then I'm going to do a multi-point. And I'm going to go around this, and I'm going to use lots of multi-points because our piecing isn't perfect when it's on the frame. So you're going to try to do as many multi-points as you can so that it's exactly, because when it quilts, it's going to quilt exactly where you positioned it. All right, I hit my house refresh button here. And that is, oops, I forgot one thing. Pro Stitcher can only have one area open at any given time. So what I should have done is I should have cleared the bird first. And now I have to create my area again. Multi-point, multi-point, multi-point around the bird so that I have exactly or pretty close to it. Now I can hit my house refresh button. And then this is the square, and that's why I just added extra echoing around so that I had all of it. And then now what I can do is I can go to modify, crop, and I want to crop the outside. Notice I have all these jump stitches, and then I have all these start and stops. So because I'm at the bottom of the quilt, I have tried it several times, and then you're just going back and you have to trim all those. So I did a few of these like that, and you're trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming, but it's your personal preference whether you want to do the trimming or if you want to close the edges. If you close your edges, which is right over here on this button here, I close the edges. Notice that all the jumps are gone. So now when I close the edges, she travels and she travels every time around and around. So you're going to have thread buildup on these outside edges. Okay, so that's the difference between closing your edges and not closing your edges. So it's personal preference. It was just simpler and easier for me to close the edges. So now that I've made some changes, I will hit baseline again, and then obviously you can save it, but each square is different. So I did this for each square, and now I'm going to quilt that out, and I'm going to show you how I finished the bird. So she'll start right there. So I'm just going to go to Pro Stitcher, Quilt, and Run. Pro Stitcher, Quilt, and Run. She gives me my settings. I said proceed. And she's going to pull the bobbin thread to the top. I'm going to hold on to both and hit resume. I'm going to pause her. As soon as she does her little tie off, she's over there. And I will pause her so that she's not running. But you can see what she's doing. Now, as she gets closer to the edges, she's going to keep backtracking all the way around, and coming back around. So you are going to have thread buildups on the side. But it's faster. It's quicker than me using my Echo Feet or using my rulers. So I am using my Pro Stitcher software that came with my Pro Stitcher. So I really like this feature of the Echo. You can decide if you want these larger or smaller apart from that. So I'm going to show you the finished block over here where it's finished. And you can see all the beautiful lines that the echoing around the bird. You can see where I've placed her feather inside of there. And I've even included an eye. So on the eye, all I did was went around and around and around. I have So Fine, Superior Thread So Fine white thread on top. And I just kind of made her a little eyeball there. So that is how I quilted the bird. Again, this quilt is called Whisper by Poppie Cotton. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And then for my Instagram and my Facebook page, it's Quilting by Martha. Please join me there. And if you would like to see any other videos or tutorial, just drop me a line and see if I can get that done for you. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Pro Stitcher, that you can use the record feature and that we can use the echo feature that's in our Pro Stitcher Designer. Happy quilting!